And I'm not blaming Mr. Kingston at all. I blame his wife.
What's the post-match glass of wine thing? Is that real in the Premier League? What was it like when you were at Blackpool? Would you go in and have a drink with Sir Alex Ferguson and all that sort of stuff?
Yeah. We got some crystal glasses brought into my office at Blackpool because of Sir Al. But I couldn't change the wine. They wouldn't give me any of the good wine because Carl was too tight. But he was happy because he came back from being 2-0 down and won 3-2. So.
Was that in the back of your mind that you were going to have a glass of wine with him, so you want him to come into the office relatively happy, so maybe let him have that?
No, you don't. I can't. I wasn't happy that we just lost, because we were robbed. We should have had a penalty, and I told him that, and he had a smile on his face because he's used to winning, isn't he? But he wasn't smiling when we were 2-0 up. But he was very complimentary of how we played. But there you go. But yeah, it's memories that but people. They say you're up against him. It's not like that. It isn't like that. When you get to the top and where they are, you're up against God knows who, Because Liverpool, they have now got a throw-in and set-piece coach. So Klopp doesn't even have to do that. That's a huge part of normal manager's day, that is. You imagine what Sir Alec would have put in place that's why he did it so long, and he delegated. Absolutely delegated, but he knew he was on top of everything, That's the amazing thing about him. So it was a joy to have said that I've had a drink with him. They won't remember it. Capello, he spoke to me once. He said, get out of the way.
That's actually in his autobiography.
Yeah, he
references you.
I saw some big-nosed little hunchback in the corridor. Didn't realise it was Plymouth's manager. Move, get out of the way. We only lost 1-0 though. That was a moment.
Another question. Tom Chambers asks, what's the weirdest manager job interview you've had, and what club was it?
The weirdest manager job interview. Wow. I got to go back to me Blackpool one. It's quite a story. I driven 4.5 hours. He hadn't even got a suit on. I got my suit on. I got my tie on, and I ended up buying the coffee because I knew how tight he was. I mean, that's. So, and I knew it was coming. So, and I interviewed him in the end. I had 4 or 5 questions that I looked online, looked at what the fans were saying about him, and I asked him, and I liked his answer. So I sat there having interviewed him, and I asked him, have you got any questions for me? And he went, well, no, not really. You've sort of shown me what you're all about. And then he went to the toilet. The bloke he was with, Matt Williams, said, here's the... I said, what do you mean? Is it a contract? I'm being offered it. And he wanted me to look at it. And I just put it in my book. I said, no, I'll be driving back now. That's weird. I said, I don't even want to talk about that now. Didn't expect you to show me something now, So anyway, he comes back and I'm going. I said, cheerio then. And they were like awkward looking at each other. And I went, oh, I got to go. It's going to take me 4.5 hours to get home. So I got to go, So anyway, I get outside, and then halfway back I get a phone call from him. Haven't you looked at it? I said, yeah, that's an absolute joke. I won't be taking that. So by the time I got home, he rung back and said, well, we want to offer. I said, well, I won't be taking that. So it's a shame. I could have worked for you. And he went, well, can you come up tomorrow because we'd like to talk to you. So there we go. It's weird, isn't it?
Could have got a hotel. I mean, it's 18 hours of driving and all.
I know. I was absolutely Christmas crackered as well. Seriously, I think it took me 6 hours on the way up and about 5.5 on the way back. 11.5 hours. And then what he offered me was like, that's why he looked so weird, and I didn't give him any idea whether I was happy or unhappy.
Talking of Blackpool, James O'Rourke says, tell me a random story involving Richard Kingston.
A random story? The goalkeeper, yeah, it was we took him as if he was never going to play, right? Because he was a sort of third choice, and I had injuries to the first 2, and all of a sudden he had to play. Suddenly he's in the, he looked all right for someone who could be on your bench or, but oh my God. And then it turned out that his wife had a a voodoo spell on him, and she sent us a letter apologising that when he played, she had put a spell on him that she feels cost us because he'd been disrespectful to her, and that's the voodoo way of doing things. So good gracious me. So random don't come to it. Do you know what I mean? We missed Jilks with Jilks in goal for us. We had 28 points in the first half of the season. Second half of the season, we only got 11. And I'm not blaming Mr. Kingston at all. I blame his wife.